Absolutely. When you're going around and looking for different insurance companies, some will only write personal lines, some will only write commercial lines, and then there are certain ones that have really specific niche appetites like society insurance. They really like writing restaurants. It's one of their biggest markets. They do a lot of other stuff too, but they happen to be really competitive on those niches that they're in. And so if we're not an independent agent and we didn't have those choices, then yeah, we'd be stuck with just one option for our clients.
Thanks again, Tom. G2 Insurance Services. This is the guy you want to talk to. And if you want to learn
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday morning. Talking Golf on TPC Wisconsin is on the air. Brought to you by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options with a lifestyle you deserve with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. Wild Rock Golf Club. From 5 sets of tees and expansive greens, it's a course set up to embrace a challenge for scratch golfers to resort guests. Also by Zimbrick European. Why drive something ordinary when you can drive something extraordinary? University Ridge Golf Course, a public course that offers something for players of every ability and is the home of the Badgers men's and women's golf team. And by the Alzheimer's Association. Now, here are your co-hosts for Talking Golf on
All right, boys, here we go. Mics are
who's a
on.
member of the Wisconsin.Golf Hall of Fame, and longtime Madison sportscaster Paul Brown.
From TPC, Wisconsin and Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani, Dave McCann, I'm Paul Brown. Welcome to another round of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. Well, Tiz, the AmFam tournament is now in the books. Another champion has been crowned, and overall, the comments and the reaction is the same as it's been in the past.
Yep.
Very successful event.
It's the best. One of the best events I've ever attended, and I was not playing, but I mean, their food was good, service was fabulous, golf course looked great, the stands, the fans. I mean, they were even clapping at bad shots, you know. They were into the game, you know. And to see so many people there and enjoy what's going on. And I don't know if there's people, they have celebrity rounds and they have the concert.
Yeah.
I mean, think about all that stuff, you know, I mean, that they do here, which is way, way and above, you know, what I see at other tournaments.
Now, I know you were out at the tournament. Did you get any asked a question or two about TPC Wisconsin, did you?
I wore sunglasses and a big barrel hat and get off to the side. Absolutely. You know, it's obviously the people are excited about it as much as we are. And the best is yet to come when they can go ahead and finally see it. We see it every day. Of course, we see it in its raw form. But, you know, I can look out there now. I think there's 8 greens already that have the greens mix on it already. So what that means is that as soon as that irrigation new pump gets here on the 16th, you know, and we can irrigate. So, we're still optimistic here in the fourth week of July, we'll be seeding.
On our show tonight, we're going to check in with Jim Buchheim, who's involved with the management of American Family Insurance, and he's also an integral part of the tournament. We'll get a recap from him. Jerry Kelly's going to hopefully be joining us in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I understand the power's out in the Maple Bluff area in Madison. Heck of a storm rolled through here.
That went through, you know. He really was good. He was tied for the lead there, and he had a lot of opportunities, you know, to get in, kind of pulling for him again to do it, you know.
I was too, because I had a hockey thing for him.
You're going to give it to him?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to him if we get him on the line.
He'll laugh at that.
Yeah, and I've also got a story about a driver when he was a young guy.
Oh, yeah. That's
Tom
when he
Benson.
when he was calm.
Yeah, when he was very calm. And Gary D'Amato covered the tournament for Wisconsin.Golf, and Gary will be on. He spent an awful lot of time there at the tournament. And, of course, Steve Stricker, he tied for 11th place. And we have some comments from Steve in his press conference after he completed his final round on Sunday. He was 9 under at one point, and he got it down to where he was just a single shot out of the lead.
I told Nikki, I had to get to 13 yet, and I was at 9, and we had 4 holes left, so I was thinking an eagle, in there at 16, and then trying to birdie some coming in, but yeah, a little late, to join the party, but it was some better things today. I putted awful, though. I didn't birdie into the par 5s today. It could have been a real special round, but just didn't get it in the hole very well.
From last September through this past weekend, an awful lot has gone on in Steve's life. Of course, the Ryder Cup, he was captain and they won it. You talk about other things. He had the illness around the Christmas holidays, COVID, and then he's been trying to play an awful lot of golf. So this has kind of been a tough stretch run for him.
I've said it before, I've got a different perspective on life and all sorts of different things, now, and yeah, it's I still have some battles to to kind of get over. I still got to get stronger and continue to work on that part of it. And but yeah, I'm just thankful to be able to do this, to be able to continue to play something that I really love to do. And yeah, so it's come a long ways, and the ups and the downs in these last 6 months were something else, but I'm glad where I'm at now.
And Steve also knows what he needs to do to be more consistent and more competitive.
I got to do a little bit of everything. I'm going to have to work out, which I don't like. I'm not a fan of that, but I need to, and I need to get it back after it like I did for a while there. And I need to get stronger. I need to get my back and my core better, and it shows up after a period of time when I start to play that it starts to fail. So I got to just get better with working that out and getting stronger.
And at the same time, he is very happy about the reaction that he receives from the fans here in Madison.
I can feel a lot of the love and the support that I get here, and it's very special, and it's worthwhile. They all know why we're doing it. They know why. We're playing here to give back to our community, for these charities, for the Children's Hospital. I mean, they receive a lot of money, and it's part. We owe that to the fans and the sponsors, and obviously American Family Insurance, and so you put it all together. This community has embraced it. They enjoy it, and the players love it. I get nothing but thank yous and appreciations, and they just love coming here.
Comments of Steve Stricker. And Tiz, I want to ask you about this because Saturday at Steve's press conference, he said some things, and I'm going to ask you about them. Not in a negative sense, but I think it gives you some idea of what he's thinking and what's going on. Somebody asked him about he doesn't seem to be playing with the same emotion. And he said that's been a problem since I've come back. I don't seem to be that fired up. That's what I've been lacking a little bit of, and mentally a little bit of that as well. I don't know why. It kind of comes and goes, and I'm kind of going through the emotions at time. And he talked about the aches and the pains. He said it's been a little bit more of a challenge lately. The more I play, it's getting a little bit harder. And what does that say to you about what his mindset, and as a former coach, for an example, what would you say or do with a person that's going through that?
Well, to say he doesn't, you don't know whether he's 10 over or 10 under when he's playing. He doesn't smile. He doesn't show emotion anyway. So it's stuff that's internal that he's sharing with people that he has it. I suspect, however, I know that emotion does work on the inside. I mean, he is feeling that when he's playing. It's a matter of gathering energy. We did spend a lot of time with Arnold, when he was playing Arnold Palmer's equipment. And I got to talk with him on a personal basis on a lot of stuff, and the business of gathering energy. He believed that there was energy in everything, and he would go out and gather energy from an acorn or a duck going by or whatever. He would gather anything that was any living, and he would suck it right inside, and he practiced bringing that stuff right inside of him and holding on and playing. And Steve does that very well, and there are no distractions. He's sharing something there that I can tell you that feeling has been there before. I've seen places where, and been around long enough to know that he could have won a U.S. Open, he could have won a Masters, he could have won a PGA, those things. But, that's the type of thing that he has to, continue to get in the position of failing. And he'll get back at it. Right now is a pull on his body, okay? And, of course, it's affecting his mind. And it's all part of, it's all part of
Sure.
the game. It's all part of the game. And I still will tell you his history is in the future. He playing this tour that doesn't, the course is not that long, and hitting a lot of those pitching wedges in there, and you see what he does. And, he's playing bad. Did he finish ninth?
I think he tied for 11th, right? I'd have to go back and look.
I thought he finished ninth, but either way, when you shoot 5 under or 6 under, and you don't make any birdies on the par fives, I mean, what could that round really have been? Yeah. So, he's caddying today. He likes that, and
he's on the bag for Izzy.
Izzy's playing. I think he's caddying for him, but they're together anyway, and that takes a tied for 11th. Okay, well, anyway, the fact for him, he shares emotions, which he does, which is really good. I never did agree with that. I think it's early on that cost him.
You don't share emotions?
Who does?
You?
I don't share them. I give them. The hell with that sharing stuff, But he's a salt of the earth. Just what you heard right there.
Yeah.
That's what he has in mind. Children's Hospital and all these things, and he's very sincere about it. I mean, you ask him about this stuff, he starts crying. I don't know if he's hurt or what the hell he's doing, but he starts crying.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, with our fingers crossed, hopefully Jerry Kelly will be with us. We'll be back after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Drew and Jonathan Scott here to tell you that American Family Insurance wants to protect your dreams. So whether you're at home singing in the shower, every note, or prefer singing your heart out in the car like Drew, cruising, you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
After 60 years, Cherokee Country Club is now officially known as TPC Wisconsin. Right now, the course and the clubhouse are going through an extensive renovation. When the project is complete, TPC Wisconsin will have a course, club, facilities, and services that'll be second to none in the Badger State. Members will not only have a challenging experience playing the course, but they'll enjoy fine dining experiences and award-winning golf instruction. For more information on becoming a member at TPC Wisconsin, call 608-249-1000. That's 608-249-1000.
Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing you the right balance of care centered around their lifestyles. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Enjoy the comforts of your apartment with an abundance of events just outside your door. Oak Park Place Senior Living with locations in Madison, Janesville, and Baraboo. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Wild Rock Golf Club in the Wisconsin Dells, a Herdston Fry masterpiece, is one of the premier golf destinations in the Midwest. Wild Rock provides a true test of your skill, combined with some of the most stunning vistas you're ever going to encounter on a Wisconsin golf course. Download the new free Wild Rock app. It's a true game changer and lets you stay up to date and receive special promotions regarding all things Wild Rock. Bring your A game, folks. The Rock is waiting for you. Visit wildrockgolf.com. wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, this is Paul Brown, longtime Badger sportscaster. My wife was only 57 years old when she started having trouble remembering things at work and getting lost driving home. That was the start of a heartbreaking 8-year journey that led to her eventual passing from Alzheimer's. Please don't ignore the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's. Find information at alz.org/Wisconsin. This message was made possible through the generous support of Oak Park Place Foundation. Back at TPC, Wisconsin, along with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown, and joining us now, Jerry Kelly. And Jerry, this is the truth. I was pulling for you yesterday to win the tournament because I had a headline in mind. If you would have won the tournament, and here it goes. Jerry Kelly completes the hat trick.
There you go.
Come on, didn't you hear my interviews? I kept on saying this isn't a three-peat, guys. This is going for a hat trick. So I had you on that.
There
one.
you go.
Sorry,
That's
you got
Son
that
of a
from me.
gun.
We had you.
Son of a gun, because I thought that would have been out. It wouldn't have been a natural hat trick, but it would still been a heck of a hat trick.
Oh, yeah.
For you non-hockey people, that means 3 goals in a game,
Right.
3 times the champion.
That's right.
Also, Jerry, I ran into Tom Benson today, and you know
Oh,
Tom.
great.
He was. I got a story here that supposedly involves you, but one good thing he said, Tom was an assistant.
I mean, one good thing. He said a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, I know, but Tom was an assistant at Maple Bluff for many years when Jerry was young and played golf, and then he, of course, went to Odanna Hills. He told me that your mother was one of the 10 best players in the state of Wisconsin. Is that true, and what impact did she have on your career?
I would say that's absolutely true. She was very competitive. She played in the Women's Western Golf Association as well as Wisconsin-Golf Association. You know, she did a lot of the amateur tournaments, and I mean, she got down to a single-digit handicap, and I mean, she was tough. I mean, she was making all the putts, had a great short game, and I mean, my dad was like most of the dads. He was working morning till night. So, and then I could caddy for him on the weekend, but I didn't get to play with him as much. But you know, my mom was instrumental in getting me out there, and you know, she teaches me a lot of that fire. No
well, you know, I
question.
spent some time with your dad, you know, and he was so proud of Jerry, going on, and he was ragging on, you know, Jerry's this, and I said, well, wait a minute now, you know, the athletic chromosome is an X. You had nothing to do with Jerry's athletic prowess. I thought he was just going to flip, you know, his mouth opened up, which is true. I mean, his mom has, you know, she's competitive as hell, you know.
I'm going to tell the story that Tom mentioned to me today, and apparently
poor Jerry came on the phone and now we're banging him.
He knows we're having fun with him. You were the number 1 player at East, right, in high school?
No, I don't think I was a number 1 player. We had a couple guys who, I mean, I think Jared Redders, you know, he was a really good stick. Mike Bruno could play.
They were not as good as Jerry, but
I mean,
go ahead.
I was probably the fastest, had a good stick, but I kept my head down way too much. And it's just not good, you know. I enjoyed getting hit, but I definitely got hit way too often.
Well, I'm going to ask you about this particular situation now, and you can confirm or deny. He said apparently you guys at East were playing in a tournament at Odanna, and Tom was in the pro shop looking out the window, and Jerry walks by the window, and his driver was in 2 pieces, and he threw it in the trash can. And when he threw it in the trash can, later on, Tom went out and got the driver and gave it to a friend of his who put it back together and rebuilt it. And 3, 4, 5 years, I don't remember how many years passed, and then now Jerry's on the tour, but he comes back and he plays an event at Odanna, and that driver shows up back in your bag. Is that a true story?
He's told me that story before.
I believe he was looking out the window because that's what he did all the time.
I remember that one as well, but I've broken my share of clubs in my day, so I don't doubt it. But yeah, my recollection is not complete on that.
No. In other words, he's full of it. You know, tell him.
Hey, what a great shootout at the AmFam tournament over the weekend, huh?
Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah.
It's like there was 10 guys tied for the lead.
I
was joking.
Are you with us, or hopefully that phone continues? I think we lost him.
Are you guys back?
Yeah,
we got it. We're back.
All right. It's a little tough around here. We had a little tornado go through the backyard.
Steve called right away. A tornado
We
went through
still
Jerry's
power.
backyard.
We've got nothing. The trees are down. It's just huge trees are down. It's crazy. You couldn't even drive around in Maple Bluff. It's tough. So if I run out of battery, you know why? Because I can't charge my phone.
Well, we'll just end the interview at that point. But again, when you analyze your play over the weekend, what were some of the key moments for you in the tournament, Jerry?
You know, I was trying to duplicate last week, which, you know, is not the easiest thing to do, because you're just going to piecemeal something. But I found something on Saturday night. You know, I just went and I hit like 3 wedges on the range, and I was tired and I didn't want to go through a session, but I knew I was on the right track just when I hit these shots. And I'm like, all right, I got it for tomorrow. And I kind of did the same thing with the putting halfway through that second round. That I remembered some of the things, you know, the more than basic things that Steve and I talked about on the putting green. And, you know, those were fresh in my head. I was so excited to get to the golf course on Sunday morning and actually go through a putting session and a hitting session, because I knew something was going to be there this time. And it was close. I mean, I hit it really good. I mean, I missed one green. I hit one bad shot on 10, and that was it. I just seemed to have downhill putts quite a bit, so I couldn't be very aggressive, and they all just kind of burned the edge. I didn't really hit a poor putt. They just didn't go in. So I was happy with the performance. Not with the result, but I was happy with the performance, definitely.
When you came up 18 yesterday, I know the reaction was great last year and the last couple of years and that kind of thing, but it just struck me that the support you're receiving and the recognition for what you've done, that seemed like it was a little special there on 18 yesterday when you came up to the green.
Yeah, they were, you know, it kind of hit all of us at the same time. It's like, boy, this has happened twice in a row. And, you know, I've got a putt for a chance on this third one, but it was kind of like, it's been fun, you know, having it, you know, for 3 years, even though it's only been 2. It's a long time to think about it. And, you know, I'll never forget it. It's awesome. And like I told him before, I'd like to start a new streak, but it was pretty special coming up 18. Yeah.
We're chatting with Jerry Kelly. Jerry, is it not even a question anymore now when you talk to your colleagues on the Champions Tour that play this AmFam tournament? Is it at the top of the list?
Yeah, I mean, it's a major feel to it, no question. You know, what Steve and Jack and American Family have done, you know, and Nate, I mean, they just do top of the line all the way across the board. I mean, it's the players love to show up, and they do show up. And, you know, the course was fantastic this year, and you got the fans. I mean, it doesn't feel like a great event unless the people come out and support the event, because you need to hear the cheers. You need to hear the claps. You need to feel the emotion of everybody out there. You know, Madison shows up. It's a testament to them, and it's, you know, they've always kind of deserved a tournament, and I'm glad they've got one.
And one last question, unless Dennis has something. I think at times when you don't get a chance on a regular basis to actually watch people in golf tournaments, there are a lot of really good players on the Champions Tour, aren't there?
This, you know, it's like Dunk Chai winning. It doesn't surprise any of us.
Right.
You know, a lot of laymen wouldn't really know his name and know his history. You know, I mean, he won 8 times on the European Tour. I mean, he's a very seasoned, quality player. There's so many guys like that, you know, take a buddy of mine, Rob Labritz, you know, I mean, he was a good player when we were coming up. We butted heads against each other in all those mini tours and even at the beginning of the Nike. And then he went and got a club job for 20 even more than that, 25 years. Came out, won Q school, and it's like he's been playing the whole time. He hasn't had the results that he wants, but he's about 42nd, and he's one good finish away from securing his cart. So there are a lot of guys like that didn't just make it through Q school and had to get a job and kind of quit the playing life, but it doesn't mean the potential and the talent is there. It's just cool to see some of these guys come out. Take that Scott Perrell, same type of situation. So it's cool to watch it happen, but I'm going to try not to let it happen too often.
Attaboy.
Well, and you're still going to get the hat trick, Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get that hat trick.
Oh, yeah.
I told him I wanted hats all over the 18th green. That's what I told him.
Hey, there's something that AmFam could do right there when he wins the tournament. Throw the hats on the.
Throw the hats on.
Hey, I like that idea, Jerry.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks a lot for
best.
responding. That'll be.
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure.
All right, you bet.
We'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Drew and Jonathan Scott here to tell you that American Family Insurance wants to protect your dreams. So whether you're at home singing in the shower, every note, or prefer singing your heart out in the car like Drew, cruising, you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Sculpted by glaciers and played by champions, University Ridge Golf Course is the host site of the American Family Insurance Championship and UW golf teams. The Ridge is a public golf course and it's yours to play without a costly membership. University Ridge is now accepting advanced reservations for the entire golf season. To get your prime tee time reserved, call 608-845-7700 or visit universityridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros play. University Ridge. This is Paul Brown for Oak Park Place. Oak Park Place Memory Care Communities provide seniors and their loved ones peace of mind. Residents find purpose in their day through a success-oriented program focused on meeting residents where they're at on this journey with Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. At Oak Park Place, loved ones find comfort and connection through caregiver support groups. Oak Park Place Senior Living with locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
This is Gary D'Amato, senior writer for Killarney Golf Media and Wisconsin.Golf. Visit Wisconsin.Golf for the latest in golf news and feature stories about people, places, and tournaments in our state. And listen to Talking Golf on TPC Wisconsin to hear me spar with Dennis Tiziani. Wisconsin.Golf and Talking Golf on the internet and on your radio dial. The voices of...
Back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and Gary D'Amato will be on a little later to spar with you, and I think he's fired up today. So
he could take the gloves off anytime.
Yeah.
Let's get going. He's pretty good,
Yes, he is.
He's very good. He's very good.
Best golf writer in the state of Wisconsin. Yep. And with us now is Jim Buchheim, who's involved with American Family Insurance, obviously involved with the tournament, the foundation. Jim, I don't know if you heard the previous interview or not with Jerry Kelly, but we got an idea for you in the future.
I caught the last part, and I know that we'll have to have hats on hand for next year.
There you go. That's it.
You see about 8,000 hats on the green there when he gets that hat.
Yeah.
That'd be really good.
I'm sorry we didn't have that ready for this year just in case.
The crowds were good. The play was excellent. Sponsorship strong. The feedback good. The concert was well received. Recap it for us.
I mean, it was a terrific weekend. I think we had one of our best Friday crowds that we had. I think we had our best Sunday crowd, and And, Jerry talked about the stacked leaderboard that we had. I think, 9 or 10 people tied at the top at one point in time. I mean, Steve sunk a birdie on 14 in front of a big crew to pull to within one of the lead. And, we had a lot going on. Probably the only downer that we had, was the threat of rain, which I think kept a few people away on Saturday for our celebrity foursome. But, all in all, pretty good week of programs and then a great weekend of golf competition and great concert Friday night.
The celebrity foursome, is that something that it looks like it's very successful that you obviously would hopefully continue, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it's now something that a number of other tournaments on the Champions Tour are, copying and modeling after what we started back in 2016. And it continues to be something that just, I think, helps draw, a diverse crowd out to out to the golf course. And you've got, young kids and families to 20 and 30 somethings to, the older crowd. And I think part of that is, it's a great experience out there. It's family friendly pricing, but there is that little extra piece on that Saturday afternoon where you can see some stars outside of the game of golf in addition to the stars of the game of golf.
And Dennis and Jim, here's another idea. Nate Pokrass is a left-hander.
Oh,
Maybe you could have a foursome of left-handers.
No,
Jim.
we aren't going there. You're not going to have any people there. The young lady who played in that group, exceptional player.
Inkster? Julie?
Julie Inkster, yeah. I used to watch her when she was an amateur. She was very good then. And what she's done with the Solheim Cup, I think having a player like that really helps everything. If you looked around at, which I did, there's a lot of ladies that are involved watching this.
Yeah.
A lot of women watching this tournament, and that was a big play. I think it was a big play, and it was one of the best tournaments that I've been at. The service was fabulous where I was seated in the bleachers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The food was better than exceptional. It was good. The whole thing about it was good.
And Julie Inkster, Jim, she had an outstanding career. She won over 40 events in her career on the tour.
She had a good caddy,
Who was that?
She had a good caddy. Did you know who it was?
No.
It's Jim Lemon's wife, caddied for her.
No kidding.
You know Jim, right?
Yeah.
Well, she caddied for her. She was all fired up. She came over here because we hit balls together that this was going to go on, and she was fired up that they won, which was really good.
And the feedback of the players continues around the caddy area and the players area. The media is down there too. And when you spend a lot of time down there and just listen, Jim, I've never heard a negative word about the whole event. And the people, the caddies and the players genuinely seem like they really like coming here.
And, we get positive feedback and Nate, Jerry Kelly, I think mentioned, the work of Nate Pokrass, our tournament director, and his amazing team. And they do so much to make sure that this is a great event for everybody involved. A great event for fans, a great event for sponsors, and a great event for players. And all those factors go into awards that come out at the end of the year from PGA Tour champions. And Nate and team have won tournament of the year, what is the equivalent of the tournament of the year 2 times. And that certainly means some of the feedback or a lot of the feedback that's coming from players is really, really positive.
Jim, the economic impact, maybe people don't even think about this aspect of it. We'll talk about the charities in a minute. But what's the economic impact for the city of Madison to have that event here on a weekend?
Yeah, and we work with the Visitors Bureau to come up with what I think is a fairly conservative estimate, and it's at about $15 to $16 million a year annually is the economic impact. And if you think about it, you look at the golf course itself. I mean, we built small structures on 5 or 6 different holes. That takes dozens, if not 100 or more workers to come in and do that. We bring in a small crew from the Golf Channel to produce 3 days worth of coverage. You've got 81 golfers and 81 caddies and other visitors, coming from out of town to come in for the concert, to come in for the golf tournament itself. all, again, spending money or earning money based on, their role, all happening right here in Dane County. And so, it's a pretty significant piece. And it's, it was one of the reasons why, AmFam was interested in doing something like this. It's a way to lift the community, way beyond just the charitable aspect. It's the full things that this tournament does. It provides great brand lift for the company, but it provides this economic impact that you asked about as well.
And the charities, obviously, is one of the key factors in all of this, and the totals just continue to go up. It was, what, $12 million going into this year's tournament?
Yeah, $12.5 million. Last year we did $2.3 million with, more than $1 million going to the American Family Children's Hospital and another $1 million plus going to more than 120 other nonprofits, doing really important work to help and support kids and families in Dane County and South Central Wisconsin. Too early to tell what our number will look like this year, but, it's definitely going to go up. And just based on the strong number of sponsorships that we had, I think we have quite a bit of optimism for what that number will ultimately look like.
Do you look for additional and new things in future tournaments and that kind of thing, or now that you got a good thing going, you kind of stay in that mode, so to speak?
No, I think we will always look. Are there things that we can add? Are there things that we can do different? And some of those things, when then we start them, we'll assess and continue, or we might stop. But this Friday night concert now at Breeze Stevens, will continue that. But we added some new build items out at the golf course. Tito's Sports Line Lounge at 14, which was hugely popular. Exact Sciences and WPS helped sponsor Heroes Porch. That was always full of people. Also at the 14th green. We've tried a couple things in the past too that haven't worked. We had a symphony orchestra concert out there on Tuesday or Wednesday night, before the tournament, that we thought would be really popular, but it wasn't. It wasn't the same as concerts on the square, and so it's something that we tried, but we didn't continue that. We'll keep looking. Are there things that can make our tournament even more popular, and do even more for fans and do even more for charity?
One final one, and I don't even know if this is official or not, but I just heard a rumor about American Family Field in Milwaukee hosting a basketball game for the Badger men and women. Is there anything to that, or is that mature at this point?
Well, we put our name on the building, and we're a big sponsor of the Brewers, but we don't run the programming. I heard the same thing, or at least actually my son shared that with me. So I can't verify that, but I can say I heard the very same thing, that Wisconsin basketball would be hosting a game there at American Family Field this fall or coming winter.
That'd actually be kind of cool if it actually happened.
Both teams, though, right?
Men and the women.
Men and women, yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, we'll find out down the road. Jim, we appreciate the time. Congratulations, and we appreciate being involved with American Family Insurance in the championship event. Good luck in the future.
All right, bud.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Jim.
That's Jim Buchheim, and we'll be back after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Drew and Jonathan Scott here to tell you that American Family Insurance wants to protect your dreams. So whether you're at home singing in the shower, every note, or prefer singing your heart out in the car like Drew, cruising, you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
After 60 years, Cherokee Country Club is now officially known as TPC Wisconsin. Right now, the course and the clubhouse are going through an extensive renovation. When the project is complete, TPC Wisconsin will have a course, club, facilities, and services that'll be second to none in the Badger State. Members will not only have a challenging experience playing the course, but they'll enjoy fine dining experiences and award-winning golf instruction. For more information on becoming a member at TPC Wisconsin, call 608-249-1000. That's 608-249-1000.
Wild Rock Golf Club in the Wisconsin Dells, a Herdsden Fry masterpiece, is one of the premier golf destinations in the Midwest. Wild Rock provides a true test of your skill, combined with some of the most stunning vistas you're ever going to encounter on a Wisconsin golf course. Download the new free Wild Rock app. It's a true game changer and lets you stay up to date and receive special promotions regarding all things Wild Rock. Bring your A game, folks. The Rock is waiting for you. Visit wildrockgolf.com. wildrockgolf.com.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Hi, this is Matt LePay, voice of Badgers football and basketball. At this very moment, there are more than 198,000 individuals in Wisconsin serving as caregivers for a loved one living with dementia. Connect them to support through the Alzheimer's Association's 24/7 helpline. One call, thousands of answers, all free of charge. Call 800-272-3900 today. This message made possible through the generous support of Oak Park Place.
We're back at TPC Wisconsin in Madison, along with Dave McCann, our engineer, and Gary D'Amato, Dennis Tiziani. Do you believe, Gary, before we go to Gary, I want to mention Dave McCann, our engineer, walked over 25 miles in that tournament. You believe that? He was in 3 days.
Oh, in 3 days?
Yeah.
I believe he would have been in 3 days. I mean,
how are you doing? Are you all right?
Watch when he walked.
Actually, guys, that was over 5 days. That was
5 days?
Thanks to the rain delay, it could have been like 26 miles.
I noticed he was limping when he got in here, so something was up,
I'm impressed, though, aren't you?
5.5 miles for each round that I walked with the as a walking score. 5.5.
That's pretty.
Pretty. Knowing him, that's impressive.
Are you ready to spar with Gary D'Amato?
Oh boy, here we go. Is he turned? Oh, he plays right-handed though.
Yeah, he does play right-handed.
Yeah. Well, let's hear what he's got to say. And we'll.
Welcome to the show, Gary. A little work for you over the weekend, huh? You probably. How many hours did you spend at the tournament this weekend?
I spent a lot of hours, but I didn't walk nearly as much as Dave. I'll tell you that. I walked 9 holes, 12 holes maybe on Sunday, and I was wore out. University Ridge, great golf course. Not easy to walk though. There's a lot of hills out there.
Hey, what a shootout, huh? Must have been kind of fun tracking that tournament, huh?
It was great. I was following Jerry Kelly's group on Sunday. And at one point, I think Kelly was on 11, and I looked at the leaderboard, and I thought it was malfunctioning because there were 9 or 10 guys at 10 under. And I thought,
right.
Well, that's something's wrong with this. But it was a great shootout. And I was saying to Rob Hernandez, my colleague, if Steve or Jerry couldn't win, I thought Pongchai Chaidi was the next best story. Really, really good story. Everybody on the tour really seems to like the guy. He doesn't speak a whole lot of English, but you could tell by his smile said it all. That communicated everything inside of him. A really, really good winner for the tournament, I thought.
And his first win, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's his first win. You know what he did after the tournament?
No.
He went down and high-fived every one of those volunteers.
Did he really?
Yeah, he went down there, high-fived the whole group. So thankful for the reception that he got.
Gary, from your perspective in covering a tournament for the average golfer listening to the show and that kind of thing, give them some idea of what your day is like and what's involved from a writer's perspective in covering a tournament like AmFam.
Yeah, that's a good question. It changes day to day before the tournament starts. Obviously, we do advanced stories. And, Jerry was a big advanced story. I did a column on him because obviously he was trying to win 3 in a row. Steve's always, an advanced story. And then the tournament starts, on Friday. And then the first day, I'm in the media center a lot watching the scores because, you never know who's going to shoot the number. It could come from anywhere. It could come from anywhere on the in the tee time. So it's hard to go out and follow someone and then you miss a 65 by someone who comes in and you come in and he's gone. So the first day I kind of hang around the media center and talk to guys as they come in. And then I try to always walk a little bit of the golf course on Saturday and Sunday with the lead groups. And, Rob Hernandez and I kind of split the duties. he wrote the columns this week, and I wrote what's called game stories, kind of just summarizing what happened that day on the course. And Rob picked a single good story every day. When he did the celebrity shootout, obviously one day, but yeah, so that's kind of how it works. And I got to the course Sunday. I was the fourth car in the parking lot. I got there at 6:45 a.m. and drove home at about 8 at night. So long hours, but fun stuff.
You enjoy it. You've been doing it for many, many years and that type of thing. And Wisconsin.Golf is where Gary is involved. And he mentioned Rob Hernandez. And why don't you just give us a recap on Wisconsin.Golf? Because this is a great source, not only for golf in Wisconsin, if you're interested in the news, but for what's going on generally all over in golf.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, John Hughes, the publisher, the owner of our company, had this idea to start a website devoted to all things golf in Wisconsin. I think the website started in 2016. I joined this group in 2018. We have a small but dedicated group of people, all of whom love golf. And, it's hard to find golf coverage. Newspapers don't really cover golf anymore. They don't have the resources or the time or the space. They're constantly, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is concentrating on the Brewers, Bucks, and Packers, and the State Journal is concentrating on UW and the Brewers and Packers and Bucks. So, golf is falling through the niche, we think, in other media outlets and other newspapers. So we've got this website, and Rob and I and Dennis McCann are the three main writers, and we cover courses, people, tournaments, trends, new course openings, all that stuff. And we're slowly sort of being recognized as kind of the voice of golf in Wisconsin. And we take a lot of pride in what we do, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
Let's talk about golf over the weekend. Rory McIlroy won his 21st tournament over the weekend. He took a subtle little shot at a guy that's in charge of the LIV Tour by saying, I've won one more event now than that guy. That surprised either one of you?
Didn't surprise me. Rory's been outspoken about his sort of disdain for the LIV Tour and how his allegiance is with the PGA Tour. And I'll tell you what, the PGA Tour could not have had a better leaderboard going opposite the LIV tournament than it had this week, with Rory up there and Justin Thomas and Tony Finau and Justin Rose, some of the biggest names in golf that stayed with the PGA Tour. So the PGA Tour got a great, had a great weekend. So I was happy to see Rory win too. It's been a while for him, and great player.
Dennis, at the age of 34, he becomes the youngest player to achieve that success of winning 21 tournaments and 4 majors before the age of 34. And the inception of the Masters at that age is the last time that that's a pretty outstanding accomplishment for a guy that's his age to have done what he's done already.
He's great. But, he needs to drive it further.
I got the stats.
You do?
Yes. Rory McIlroy over the weekend hit 11 drives over 300 yards, okay? That's point number one. However, 9 of the 11 drives went for over 350 yards, the longest of which was 375. 9 out of 11, 350 or more.
I thought I'd tee you up on that so you get some.
But that's really crazy when you think about it. Right?
He spends a lot of time. You take a look at his body now compared to what it was maybe even 5 years ago. The difference in how he has his core developed. And, I think getting married for him was a good thing. That he got into this business of family just a little bit, but also got settled down a little bit more to play. Because I think there was a time there that it was hit and miss as far as not only driving, but he's really into golf now. And, this business of, you brought up this LIV Tour type thing.
Yeah,
sometimes competition is one of the best things that could happen. That if there's a competition out there now, that maybe the tour has to get a little bit better. I don't know if I should take up the time to talk, but I'm kind of PO'd about this business. I'm a PGA member, okay?
Okay.
The PGA is now the PGA, the membership part, the guys behind the counter doing all the work so that golf is a deal, that's not the PGA Tour. That's different. Now, I've been there, I've been a member now for 52 years. My dad was like 50. My brother's like 50 years. And did you know that the PGA does not have a retirement account?
For all of the people that work,
yeah,
right?
There's 24,000 people working, promoting golf every year. It's not the tour player that's doing the junior golf. They get all this credit because they go to an event and they got some juniors out there, and next thing they're off and running. But how about every week of every month of every year where that PGA guy is out there doing the work? And the PGA does nothing, as far as I'm concerned.
Collect dues.
Well, I mean, there's 24,000 members now. They've got a category for A26, which means you sweep the driveway or something like that. So, that's kind of a. I didn't mean to bring it up now.
No, that's all right.
A little bit, but it's a way here now where this PGA guy, what is he getting out of this?
Doesn't sound like very much.
No, but the PGA Tour, they're worried about retirement money and all this other sort of stuff. Yes, they can play the game, but there's somebody who's starting these people off. Rory McIlroy is one of them. Somebody started him off. Everyone, Steve Stricker, Jerry Kelly, all these people started out at a club where there was a PGA pro who got them started and got them going. So I take a little bit of when the PGA Tour gets PO'd about the business of the Live Tour and all these people going for the money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, they forgot about this guy here who's working here every day. And some of the degradation in golf, and I'm saying the golf players, is if you take a look, even in the city of Madison, can you tell me one player in the city of Madison that's excelling on a local, regional, state level? Just give me one.
There probably isn't one.
There isn't very. I'm talking about, and it used to be. Oh, wait a while. There was a PGA pro that was a good player there, because that's what you got. That's what playing and teaching are the two items. Not worried about did I get a tee time or collect a credit card or make sure that you got the right shirt or right cap. That's not what it was supposed to be. Playing and teaching. Those were the two items. And I look around in our state here and players. Do we have some good players? Yeah, we do. But those players that are playing are in a position of not behind the counter for the most part. Mm-hmm. So, they're playing in tournaments. I look at the chart. It's the same people for 8 or 10 years that are doing it. And this poor guy, and I should say poor guy, this guy who's working behind a counter, morning till night. And in many cases, what's happened in this thing, I'm pontificating here a little bit on this sort of stuff. You got me going on this darn stuff. But it used to be where the pro owned the golf shop. It used to be where the pro owned the golf cars. They own nothing now. There's no real pride in ownership there, where I work for 50, 60, 70 hours a week, but I'm working in kind of my business, so that's not there. So that's a little bit about this business of PGA Tour versus Live Tour. You got two people competing for the money. I'm taking all of Gary's time.
Gary, when I'm sitting here listening, and I'll bet you're not far from thinking the same way, there sounds like there's a story here. You got any questions you want to ask Tiz?
Well, I actually couldn't hear a lot of what Dennis was saying. I was, for some reason, he was cutting out, and I couldn't hear it. I'm sure over the radio he was fine, but I couldn't hear it over my phone. So I heard a lot of talk about the PGA members and and everything they do for the game of golf. But that's as far as I got out of it, actually.
Well, someday when you get some time, you can sit down and I'll interview you. You can come and I'll give you the real story here of somebody who's been in this business a long time and been able to observe some of the things that are going on and some of the things where I look at PGA events, even in our state, other places. They very rarely play an event that they count their score. It's always best balls, pro-ams, 3 in a group. And it's only because some of these players don't get to play enough, so they can't really hone their game and get it down to where they're competitive as to par,
Hey, we got to mention the U.S. Open. We could chat about this. We'll have him back and we'll chat about that.
You cut me off is what you did.
The U.S. Open is going to be played this weekend. And when you think about this, Willie Anderson, Bobby Jones, Ben Hogan, and Jack Nicklaus have won 4 titles, U.S. Open. Hale Irwin and Tiger have won 3. 16 guys have won 2 Open titles, and one of those 16 is Andy North.
That's right.
Gary, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Well, Andy doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, from people by and large for what he did in golf. People don't understand how often he was hurt and injured and fought through
Cancer.
Knees and shoulders and back, and he had a lot of injuries. But to win 2 U.S. Opens, to win 1 makes your career. To win 2 puts you, as you point out, Paul, in very, very special company. And people always say, well, that's all he ever won. Wrong. He also won a Westchester Classic on a great golf course. And he would have won more tournaments had he been healthy, for his entire career. So he doesn't get the credit he deserves. But in my book, he's one of the top 2 or 3 golfers ever to come out of our state, along with, Steve, Jerry, and probably Sherry Steinhauer.
Gary, I'm going to ask you one more and then let you go. We only got about 2 minutes left, and I want to finish up with Tiz. Bryson DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, Kevin Na, Patrick Reed playing this weekend in the U.S. Open. What kind of reaction do you think they'll get?
Boo.
I don't know if people are totally in tune with what's going on because the Live Tour doesn't have a broadcast partner yet. Once people start watching these guys on TV, if they get a broadcast partner and they can see them, I think it's going to be totally different. But I think they're going to get a little bit of an icy reception. I think people, by and large, probably will be standing with the PGA Tour and will look at these guys as renegades who bolted the tour for money. And let's face it, they can talk all they want about how it's helping the game and growing the game, but these guys are doing this purely for money. That's the reason. Let's be honest.
Gary, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Wisconsin.Golf for Gary D'Amato and all the latest golf news. We'll be back to close it out after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Drew and Jonathan Scott here to tell you that American Family Insurance wants to protect your dreams. So whether you're at home singing in the shower, every note, or prefer singing your heart out in the car like Drew, cruising, you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Sculpted by glaciers and played by champions, University Ridge Golf Course is the host site of the American Family Insurance Championship and UW golf teams. The Ridge is a public golf course, and it's yours to play without a costly membership. University Ridge is now accepting advanced reservations for the entire golf season. To get your prime tee time reserved, call 608-845-7700 or visit universityridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros play. University Ridge.
Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing you the right balance of care centered around their lifestyles. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Enjoy the comforts of your apartment with an abundance of events just outside your door. Oak Park Place Senior Living with locations in Madison, Janesville, and Baraboo. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
This is Gary D'Amato, Senior Writer for Killarney Golf Media and Wisconsin.Golf. Visit Wisconsin.Golf for the latest in golf news and feature stories about people, places, and tournaments in our state. And listen to Talking Golf on TPC Wisconsin to hear me spar with Dennis Tiziani. Wisconsin.Golf and Talking Golf, on the internet, and on your radio dial.
Back at you.
The voices of golf in Wisconsin.
TPC Wisconsin. I caught
pushed
myself
the button.
there.
You're going to get that shock collar. I was going to push it.
The U.S. Open is at the Country Club in Brookline, Mass. this weekend. What kind of a course and what kind of player would you look at potentially winning that event?
It's a country club course, so it's not one of those that is played out in the desert someplace with all the stuff. So I'm looking at the guy that's going to putt the best at that course. And you've got some good guys there for putting, but the
Justin
guy
Thomas?
that's the guy, kind of like where I think he's got it. I think Bones has got him lined up pretty well from a caddy standpoint, and I'm sure they've done their homework. And Bones has been there before. But I picked that McIlroy guy, but the length of that driver is not as good as the putting on the green.
All right, Mr. Tiziani, we appreciate your comments on the show. And that's going to do it for another edition of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. For Dave McCann, our engineer, a guy that walked 25 miles this week, that's about 23 more than I did.
Oh boy,
along with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown. And thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week. Same time, same station, to have another edition of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Good show, gentlemen.
This is the Big 920, Milwaukee's all Badgers sports station.
Touchdown, Wisconsin.